Welcome to the 40th annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction. I'm Claire Hanna.
And I'm Jeremy Valentine.
And today is a great day to look at some of the cars that you might have dreamed of. We've got the best cars here at the Okotoks auction. Jeremy, have you seen anything that's caught your eye so far?
Well, first off, how could this car behind us not catch your eye? A 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air. It is called the Double Nickel. It's absolutely gorgeous. My favorite cars of the auction, the 1972 Pantera and the 2002 25th anniversary Lotus Esprit. It is the James Bond car where it turns into a submarine. How could you not love that one, Claire?
Well, I'm a history buff, so I really like the 1955 Thunderbird. That was actually the very first year that the Thunderbird was produced. But Jeremy, a lot of beautiful cars here today.
Well, before we get to some of those beautiful cars, let's look back at the history of the 40th annual Okotoks Car Auction.
My name is Jeff Hill. I'm the owner and president of the Okotoks Collector Car Auction. So 2014 marked the 40th annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction, which is a huge milestone for us. It's been a family-run business, and 2014 marked an incredible day, an incredible year for the company, and we're just thrilled. My uncle Grant Hill had run 36 of the 40 events of the Okotoks Collector Car Auction, and getting in his 70s, I think it was getting a little long in the tooth. It's a very intense event to put together, and I think it had kind of run its course. He had his belly full of doing it. The opportunity came up through discussions for me to look into purchasing the company, and there was a very good fit, both from the opportunity and timing, but my wife was on board, who does a great deal of administrative work. It continued the Hill name running the company. So 4 years ago, we purchased the company, took it over, and have been very proud to be at the helm ever since. My earliest recollection of the Okotoks Collector Car Auction, believe it or not, is one of my first memories ever, in that it used to be held in the old arena down by the river in Okotoks, which is now kind of where their library is. I was in a stroller, and I remember this. It's funny because, as I say, it's one of my first memories, period. But I just remember being outside the arena and hearing the auctioneer on the microphone and thinking it was so scary because it was so loud, and the people filing in and the energy and so busy. I was actually intimidated to be there, and yet, there it is 40 years later, here I am running the show. Being at the helm of this is a real privilege. It's a very tough business. My boys now, I have a 14-year-old boy and a 10-year-old boy, and you'll see them, they're car pushers. They move cars through, which is how I started to get to know the whole auction business. And they are definitely thinking that this is in their future and want to move up the corporate ladder, so to speak, and learn how to actually put a sale together. We've been so proud to have the reputation of being the what you see is what you get auction, and not playing games, and a bid is a bid. There's no false bidding and gamesmanship that goes on there, and it's been a challenge to not succumb to some of those games, but our numbers are showing that actually being ethical and being honest is the right way to do it, and people are responding.
So this car, I think, was made by a guy named Willie. It's the 1948 Willys Jeepster convertible. When I think about Jeeps, I think about the TJ, I think about that big frame, but this is a little bit different. I could see this maybe being in one of the old Indiana Jones movies, or maybe driving Miss Daisy. But as you can see, it's in really good condition, and I'm excited to see what it goes for at the auction.
We're on lot number 130 here.
Here we go. 1948 Willys Jeepster convertible. Again, one of those vehicles that where would you ever find one? And it's sitting right in front of you. No reserve vehicle here. So this is going to go to somebody, and this is just a great candidate for a high value restoration. You've got a vehicle that you could take to one of the sales down south and make quite a few bucks. Vehicle comes with factory manual cabled overdrive, which is in working condition. And all windows and frames are in a pouch in almost new condition. Purchased in 2004 from Montana. It was brought up here from the daughter of the original owner, who bought it used in 1952, and it was restored once in the early 80s. Such a unique vehicle, Pee-wee, and it's no reserve.
All right, would have been out of date. Here we go on this one. I'll leave that to you. Would have been out of date. 15,000. It's unreserved. Going to a new home today. 10,000. It at 10, 10,000. Where do you want to start it? 5,000. It at 5, 5,000. 5,000. 5,000. 3 grand, 3,000. It at 3. What do you got? 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. Was that 3, Brad? 3,000. 3, 4. It at 4, 4, 4,000. 3, 4, 3. Watch Roddy Pee Wee. 3, 4. It at 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. It 4,000. 3, 3,000. 4,000. It at 3, 4, 3,000. 4, 3, 4, 35. It at 35. 3,000. 35. 30.
If we could get the rep for the vehicle to step forward to the block, the rep for the vehicle to step forward to the block.
You got 3,500, 4,000. Pierre, you got to be 4. The other fella got in ahead of you. 4,000, 7.5, 4 at 4, 42.50. It at 42 now. I'm at 42 now. Pierre 2 now. I'm at 45. I'm at 45. 7 now. I'm at 45. 750. It 5. But I'm at 5,000. I'm at 2 now. I'm at 2 now. I'm at 5. I'm at 2 now. I'm at 5. I'm at 2 now. I'm at 52 now. I'm at 5. 52.50. It at 52 now. I'm at 5,000. I'm at 2 now. I can't see you back there. I'm at 2 now. 5. It at 55. And I got 52 now. Way in the back. I'm at 5,500. It 55. And I'm at 2 now. I'm at 55. I got 52 now. 55. I got 52 now. My man. 55, you got 55 Al, 750. It at 57 out of it, 55, 7.5, 6,000. It at 62 now, thank you. Now 65. It at 62 now, 5, and I'm at 65. Now 67.50. It is 65, and it is 7, and it is 5, it is 750, it is 5, and it is 750, it is 65, and it is 750. How about 66? You've been a great bidder all day. I'll do that for you. Thank you. 67 Al. Now 68. Thank you. Now 69. Now 7,000. You sure? 7,000. Thanks again for your help. Sold 6,900.
Goodbye.
48 Willys Jeepster was thrilled to have in the sale because it shows the diversity of the stuff that we want to have in the sale and represented, in my mind, a very good opportunity. Came out of a significant collection and was a car that was very, very difficult to duplicate. Find another 48 Willys Jeepster. In my mind, that car was an excellent buy. Represented a very, very good value because, again, the rarity was there and the cool factor was off the charts. I mean, just imagine having that at your cabin and throwing, you know, the paddle board in the back or going for ice cream or out to dinner and something cool like that. They ooze character, and in my mind, that was a really, really cool vehicle to have in the sale and a good purchase.
Okotoks Collector Car Auction on Shaw TV is brought to you by Jack Carter Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
You are watching the 2014 Okotoks Collector Car Auction Highlight Show. Sponsored by the 41st Annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction, May 22nd through the 24th, 2015.
Now I'm standing here beside Jay McKean and his beautiful car, the 79 MG. Jay, maybe we can talk a bit about the car and maybe some of its cool features.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a car that we actually purchased here at the Okotoks auction last year. I'm with Jack Carter Chevrolet, and we do a lot of buying and selling of collector cars. What happened was that we had a client that was interested in 2 cars that were running last year, so we were down here purchasing on his behalf. The problem was that this car ran first. The one he really wanted ran second. So he asked us to buy the first one in case he didn't get the second one. As it turns out, we got the second one, and then this one was kind of left over, so we thought, well, maybe we'll do something interesting with it.
I'm not sure too many people have leftover cars of this kind of quality.
Well, probably not, but you know, you'll never know what you're going to find at an auction like this. You know, collectors are, they're an interesting bunch, so.
You were telling me something special about this car and where the auction money is going this year. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Oh, absolutely. At Jack Carter's, we've had a long-standing relationship with the mustard seed, and it's something that's very important to us. Last year, we donated a car for charity with the proceeds going to the mustard seed, and it went over really big. It was very exciting here at the sale, and of course, mustard seed was very much in need of the money. So we decided that this car, this leftover car, so to speak, would be a great one to run this year, and again, donate the proceeds to the mustard seed.
Well, I really hope it gets a lot of money this year so that obviously the money goes to the mustard seed. What if there's a leftover car this year?
Absolutely. You know, we've had such good success with it last year, and I've had a lot of interest already in the car this year because Jeff had talked about it to some of his clients previous to the sale. So I absolutely anticipate that we'll buy something this year with the intention of selling it for the mustard seed again next year.
Thanks very much, Jay, and I can't wait to see how much this goes for.
There are a few words that we use too often, which is amazing, rare. Investment opportunity, I suppose, is another term we use maybe too often, but here's one that truly is amazing. 1979 MG MGB with factory wire wheels, overdrive. That's not the impressive part. The impressive part, this is a completely unrestored, original 12,000 mile car. Could be one of the lowest mileage Bs available around.
This car is unreserved, and all proceeds from it are going to the mustard seed, including auction fees, everything. All right, so going to a great cause. Here we go. Would have been out of date. And folks, apparently we're going to speed things up a little bit because Pee-wee has a hot date tonight, and it doesn't happen very often when he gets a date.
His parole officer's looking for
take a
him.
look at him and see why. Unreserved, going to a great cause, 5,000, 3. It 3,000, 4,000, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5,000, 5, 4,000, 5, 6,000. It's 6,000, 5, 6 now, 7,000, 7 is out here, 7,000, 7. It's 7,000, 65. It's 65, 5, 6,000, 5, 7,000, 7 now, roll it. It's 7,000, 7 now, 7,000, 7 now, 7,000. It's 7,000, 7 now, 75. 7,500. It's 75, 7250. It's 72 now, 7 now, 2 now, 7,000, 2 and a half, 72 now, 7,000, 250. It's 72 now, y'all done. Fair warning at 72 now, 5. It's 75, 2 now, 7,500. It's 75, 7,500, 75, 7 and a half, 7750. It's 77 now, 75, 77 now, 75, 77 and a half. It's 77 and a half, yes or no, 77 and a half, 8,000. It 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000.
All proceeds going to charity.
8,000,
8,000.
8,000, 8,000. Fair warning, 8,000, 8,000. So, 7750.
Yeah, that little MGB was a very, very neat car in that it was ultra low miles and in original condition. Second time that car's actually been in our sale. We've sold it both times, and they're very, very neat cars. They have really a cult following, but to find one with so low miles is virtually impossible. Last year, the fellas at Jack Carter Chev, Jay at Jack Carter's is very into classic cars and cool cars and likes to experience different kinds of motoring. And he's a real class act, and they do a lot of work with the mustard seed. So we had agreed that we'll put it in the sale, and all of the proceeds, including buyer and seller's fee, as well as the purchase price of the vehicle, all of it went directly to the mustard seed. So it's a very, very neat part of the event.
This sleek, sophisticated car is the 1982 Mercedes-Benz 380 SL. This vehicle, it's a 3.8 liter V8 that runs beautifully at just under 124,000 kilometers. That means an average of only a few thousand kilometers per year were put on this vehicle. It's got a soft top that's in excellent condition and has a removable hardtop with rear window heater. This car was originally purchased as a Mother's Day gift, and now it's going to be a gift for the owner that gets it at the auction coming up next.
Let's move on with another convertible, and how about a Mercedes? Everyone loves the Mercedes 380 SLs. 1982 380 is what we have in front of us now. Silver with the correct royal blue interior, 3.8 liter V8, which these cars came with. Car runs beautifully at just under 124,000 original kilometers. So that's just a few thousand kilometers per year. This car has really been enjoyed, but more so babied all of its life. The consignor has taken the car through the mountains to Vancouver and back without issue. Very comfortable car to drive. Here's the thing, every year one of these cars crosses the block, and not every year are they hardtop versions. The hardtop is a $2,500 to $3,000 thing if you can find them for your year of cars. So this comes with a hardtop, with the rear window heater, original first aid kit, owner's manual, it's all there. 1982 Mercedes 380 SL.
Take a look here, folks. Here you go. This would be a fun car this summer. What do you want to start at? 15. It is unreserved selling. 15,000, 10,000, it a 10, 10,000, 5,000, it a 5, starter there, 5,000, 5,000, 3,000, it 3, 4, 5, 4, gotta be 5 now, 6,000, 7,000, out of it 7, 8,000, out of it 8,000, it 8,000, out of it 7, 8, 7, 8,000, out of it 7, 8, 75, it 75, out of it 7,500, it is 75, out of it 7,500, out of it 75, and which one you gonna be 70? Al, I got him over here just ahead of you, sorry. You gotta be 8,000, 7,500, 8,000, 8,000. They jumped in ahead of you again, just a little quicker on the trigger. 85, down 85, down 85, down 85, he's out there in the blue, 8,500, right in front of you there, you bet. 85 now, 9, hit at 85, on a minute 9, 9, minute 85, on a minute 9, 85, on a minute 9. Al, what do you folks there?
Low mileage original with the hardtop. This is a hardtop car as well.
We have 8,500 bid here already. 87.5, I can do that for you folks. 87.50, we can do that.
Get on it.
It's unreserved. It's only $250 more than you were going to bid. 87.5, I think I would. We'll roll it out slowly. 87.50. Thank you, folks. Now 9,000 down here. 87.5 bid over here. 9,000. You want back in? Nice little car. New man, and now 92.50. Now 92.50. Now 92.50. Hit 9,000, a bit 2.5, and a bit 92, 2.5, thanks guys, 9,500, now 9,500, hit 95, and a bit 95, and a bit 9,500, now 97.50, now 97.5, and now 10,000, now 10,250, 10,250, 10,002.5, and a bit 10, a bit 2.5, thanks for your help, sold down front, 10,000.
The 82 Mercedes, I think, is a car that you're going to see certainly going up in the future as far as values go. They say when the top goes down, the price goes up. Maybe not so much in our climate in Alberta, but when we get an opportunity, you see a lot of convertibles on the road. Those are extremely safe, very reliable cars, almost over-engineered, certainly for the price. An absolute bargain at $10,000, because that was the car that you used to see on the TV shows, Falcon Crest or Dallas or whatever. I mean, they were the rich, wealthy cars of that era, and to be able to pick up something in that nice condition for around $10,000, that's a great opportunity.
Enthusiast Limited specializes in finding, acquiring, or selling special interest and collector cars from around the world for our clients. We have an international network of buyers and sellers of collector and exotic cars. Enthusiast Limited. You are watching the 2014 Okotoks Collector Car Auction Highlight Show, sponsored by the 41st Annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction, May 22nd through the 24th, 2015.
I'm here with Tim Bushko and his 1928 period correct Ford Model A pickup truck. You call it Brokesville. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the details of this vehicle?
1928 Ford Roadster pickup, and that's period correct. So how they'd have built it in late 50s, early 60s. That motor's probably would be out of a 55 Chevy, and but the frame's all home built, and so's the bed of the truck. It's like they'd have raced back in California back in the day.
Now you've had an opportunity to drive this car. You say it's a couple steps up from a motorcycle. like riding open air, but without having to have the balance. Tell us a little bit about how it drives.
It's very light, so you have that aspect, and that's what feels like a motorcycle. I mean, you're literally looking at the tops of the tires turning. It feels like you're sitting on the ground, so that wouldn't be like a motorcycle. You're about 2 feet lower than a motorcycle. So if you had lots of money, you would buy a body kit from a company called Brooksville, and the spin is these guys built it all by hand, and then they did a spin on the Brooksville name and used Brooksville. So they built it out of what they had in the shop.
Do you have one of those old style helmets when you're driving the vehicle?
No, I don't, but I do have a fun pair of goggles in the glove compartment.
Excellent. Well, this is Tim Bushko in the 1928 period correct Ford.
You want something a little bit different? How about this? Lot number 147, Brooksville 1929 Ford Roadster pickup. TH400 with a 4-bolt rear end, moved by a 350 motor. Neat car. There's not a lot there to move, so you can bet that it moves quickly. 1928 Ford Roadster pickup.
Okay, here we go. Where do you want to start again? Is that 147? What about out of 20, 15, 15, 10. Hit 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 7, 8,000. Hit a 7, 8,000, 7, 7, 8,000, 7, 7, 8,000, 7, 7,000, 8,000. Hit it 8,000, 7, 7, 7 now 8. Hit 8,000, 7,500. It is 75, and I'm at 7,75, and I'm at 7,75, and I'm at 7,7500. It is 75, and I'm at 7,000, and I'm at 7,500, and I'm at 7,500, and I'm at 7,75, and I'm at 7,75. It's 75.
Completely done. You've got big horsepower and not much body there. Again, the 10-bolt rear end moves this thing very quickly. A lot of money, again, goes into these vehicles to get them the way they are. It is a period-correct restoration, so you take this down to any of the show and shines. I'll be assured that there's not another one of these in the show.
7,500. It is 75, and I'm at 7, I'm at 75, and I'm at 7,000, and I'm at 75, and I'm at 75, and I'm at 75, now 8,000. It is 75, I'm at 8, Jeff, 75, and I'm at 80, 75, I'm at 80, gotta be 8,000, PB. It is 75, and I'm at 80, 8,000, and I'm at 75, I'm at 80, 8,000, 8, now 85, and I'm at 85, and I'm at 8,500, you're back there at 8,500. It at 85 now 9. It at 85 and I'm at 9,000. I'm at 9. I'm at 85. I'm at 9. I'm at 85. I'm at 9. I'm at 8500. I'm at 9. I'm at 9,000. I'm at 9,000. It at 8500. I'm at 9,000. I'm at 9. I'm at 85. I'm at 9. I'm at 995. I'm at 9,500. I'm at 95. I'm at 9,000. 9,500. It at 95. I'm at 9,500. I'm at 9,95. I'm at 95. 2.5. 95. It 9,500. I'm at 9,500. I'm at 250. 95. I'm at 2. Damn. I'm at 9,500. It at 9,500. I'm at 9,250. 9,500. We've got 9,250 bid. 9,500. It at 9,250 bid. 500. I'm at 9,500 bid. 9,500. I'm at 95. Now 97.50. It 9500 down. I'm at 750. Bid 95. I'm at 97.50. It at 95. I'm at 750. Win. I'm at 95. Bid 97.50. Now 10,000. It 10,000. Down. I'm at 10. 10. Bid 10,000. Down. I'm at 10,000. It 10,000. Down. I'm at 10. 10. Bid 10. Bid 10,000. Down. I'm at 10. Bid 10,000. It 10 250. It 10,000. Bid 250. Jeff 10,000 250. It 10,000. Bid 250. Bid 10. We're out back there. 10 250. It 10 2 now. And I'm at 10,000 250. It 10 2.5 5. It 10 5. Bid 10,000. Bid 5 on a bid 10 500 on a bid 10 5. Bid 10,500. It 10 5. Bid 10,000.
Wayne, we're gonna sell it.
500.
We're gonna sell it.
It's selling, I guess. It's on reserve. 10,500. Sold 10,500. Buyer number 299.
Yeah, the little 28 Ford, the Brooksville car, as it was termed. You know, what a neat little car, you know, to have in the sale, and it just shows the diversity that we want. I want to have cars that appeal to people of all tastes, and in many cases, all kind of price brackets that are good cars. That car is almost like a curiosity. Who would buy that car, and what would they use it for? What a neat thing to, you know, go for ice cream or something like that go for a cruise with other, you know, lowered rat rods and, you know, share in the whole culture. I think it sold for around $10,000, which You know, there's a lot of stuff you can buy for $10,000. I don't know if you're going to buy anything that's going to spark conversation quite like that little car. You know, it's hard to pin a price on things like that that are so customized and almost so sparse. There's almost nothing to them. You know, the market is always dictated by the buyers and never the sellers. And so, you know, it was enough money for the seller to let it go, and it was worthwhile enough for the bidder to put his hand up. So I think that was a fair purchase for sure.
Jeremy, we've seen some incredible cars here today.
We sure have, Claire, and we're going to see a ton more right after the break.
Okotoks Collector Car Auction on Shaw TV is brought to you by Jack Carter Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC.
You are watching the 2014 Okotoks Collector Car Auction Highlight Show. Sponsored by the 41st Annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction, May 22nd through the 24th, 2015.
Welcome back to the 40th Annual Okotoks Collector Car Auction. We're sitting here in the oldest car in the auction, 1928. As you can see, Jeremy's trying to fit in with the era.
Well, of course, Claire, you have to fit in with the era when you're talking about collector cars, and we're going to see some more right now. I'm here with Victor Brown, the owner of this beautiful car, this 1966 El Camino, but a special El Camino. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the modifications?
The reason it's so special, it's got a LS1 fuel-injected engine and 4L60E automatic transmission with a good overdrive, so you can cruise down the highway very easy and very cheaply, and still have lots of power.
Now, you said the reason that you bought this car, you always wanted El Camino, your wife's favorite car, but you wanted really this one because it was a little bit special compared to the other El Caminos that you found.
Yeah, this one was out of Texas, and it was rust-free, which is hard to find. So it made it very nice to have a car to start with that you didn't have to do a whole lot of metal work to make the car. So then I proceeded, once I got it home, tearing all the drivetrain out and putting the modern stuff in, and built the console for it, put the Dakota digital dash, and I did its tilt steering and the bucket seats, and made it into a nice driver. It's got a roll-up tonneau cover at the back of the box, so it rolls up and goes ahead when you want to use the box. It's a very drivable, friendly car.
Now, the one thing that might surprise people when they're looking at this car, that it's going to be a gas guzzler, but this car is very fuel efficient.
Unless you get your foot in it a lot. But if you just drive it normal, it's very good on gas, yes. So it's a very good car, and somebody will have a lot of fun with it if we sell it. If we don't, then the wife will be happy too, so.
Well, let's see how much this 1966 El Camino goes for.
1966 Chevy El Camino. This is just a beautiful look at the 1966 the Chevelle front ends. A personal favorite of mine. This is the El Camino version. The truck bed back has correct factory AC. Has not been hooked up though. So just to let you know, the consignor has been good enough to let you know. Brand new compressor is in it though, so it's all set to go. Power steering and power brakes this car has as well, because it looks very, very stock when you just have a quick look at it right now. But how about an LS1 engine underneath there to move this thing around even quicker? Fuel injected 5.7 liter LS1 with a 4L60E 4-speed automatic transmission. This is a great car to be able to buy, drive. Anyone in your family can enjoy it, and you can drive long distance with great power. If you're using this for work, which really you shouldn't, you've got the nice roll-top box cover. If you're at a car show, you can throw things in the back and cover it over. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle, 1966 El Camino.
Okay, here we go. Hit hot 20,000. Hit 20, 15, 15, 10, 11. Hit 11,000. All about it, 10, 11,000. All about it, 10, 11. Hit 11,000. All about it, 10, 11, 10, 11,000. All about it, 10, 11, 10, 11,000. All about it, 10, 11. Hit 11,000. All about it, 10, 11, 10, 11,000. All about it, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 5. It 10,000, bid $500, bid 10, bid 5, bid 10, bid 5, bid 10,000, bid $500, bid 10, 5. It 10, 5, bid 10,000, bid $500, bid 10, bid 5, bid 10,000, bid $500.